And Republican Congressman Marlin Stutzman of Indiana is here for more on that. Congressman, thank you for coming on. So President Trump is threatening military action against Iran if they don't make a nuclear deal. He's also suggesting regime change may be necessary. What are you hoping to hear from the president on that issue tonight?
Well, Diane, great to be with you. I'm hoping to hear that, his strong rhetoric is moving the Iranian regime. But honestly, I would prefer that we, have a strategy that removes this regime and frees the Iranian people. They have been through so much, not only just in the past 4 months, but also over the past 40 years. And so I think this is an opportunity for us to hopefully push this regime over the edge where they have to leave, somehow find a way out and exit. What has happened in the Middle East, there's definitely been, some new opportunities to free the people in that part of the world. And so my belief is that the American people and the president definitely have a strong hand in this case, and hopefully we can free the Iranian people and, of course, topple this regime.
The president imposed new tariffs under a different authority after the Supreme Court struck down most of his previous tariffs. Those new tariffs will expire in 150 days unless Congress extends them. Would you support that?
I would. I really think, and I've been talking to constituents in Northeast Indiana, would you rather have tariffs or would you rather have income tax? I know that that's not the conversation, but I think it should be part of the long-term conversation that, if we lowered income taxes in exchange for tariff policy, I think that's a really a smart conversation to have. And it also, in the short term with the president, whether Republican or Democrat, I think the president has to have the ability to use tariffs as a tool for national security, for economic security, and tariff or trade agreements that need to be discussed or renewed. The president has shown the American people and the world that he has used tariff policy very effectively to really enhance America's trade policy.
Immigration is sure to be a big topic tonight. The Trump administration insists just being in the country without authorization is a crime and grounds for removal. And they've moved to end some legal pathways like temporary protected status for certain groups. You've pushed for a legal pathway for some undocumented immigrants to stay in the U.S. What conversations have you had with the White House on that?
Yeah, frequently I've talked to the White House staff, and again, I think that we can do both things here. We can, of course, deport those who are here with criminal records that came over the border over the last 5 years illegally. But at the same time, there are still a lot of people out there. I mean, look at the DACA kids especially. They're the ones that they raised their hand. They went through the legal process. Many of them don't even know where their parents may be at. They don't know what the future holds for them or where they would even go back to. So there are people that are really caught in the system right now that would fall under the undocumented status. I understand that there are a lot of people here that have criminal records. I just saw this in my own district where a truck driver killed 4 men going to work and the driver was here illegally. And of course, those are all going to be hard things to stop. But at the same time, if we would have had a system in place, I've always said we need a high wall and a wide gate. That way we know who's actually in the country. And the policy during the Biden administration just simply let anybody come across, and somehow they were able to get a driver's license, and now 4 men in my district are dead today. And so that's something that we need to address. I believe we can do both things at once.
And our latest poll shows 58% of Americans disapprove of how the president's handling immigration. Overall, his approval rating is at the lowest point since he left office in 2021. Are you concerned that could hurt Republicans in the midterms?
Well, midterms are always tough for the party that's in power. But I do believe that we as Republicans have the right policy on taxes, on the economy, and on foreign policy, and of course the border. We do need to do some work when it comes to the immigration policy, because it is going to affect many of our districts that have agriculture, construction. I've got a large RV industry that I share from my district in Northeast Indiana. There's a lot of hospitality is another industry that's going to be affected. We need to do 2 things at once. We need to go after those who are here with criminal records that have a criminal background or they've offended Americans somehow. Those need to be prosecuted. But those who've been here for 20, 25, 30 years that don't have the legal documents that they need, we should be able to address that matter and make sure, whether it's maybe business sponsored or maybe even church sponsored, there's got to be a process that we can find a way to help those people be legal, not citizenship, not amnesty, but actually have a legal registration with the federal government that keeps them, here in the country and working, and maybe somehow, just eliminate this whole mass deportation strategy and really find a way to register people.
All right, Republican Congressman Marlin Stutzman, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.